Not a problem.
So, Tim, Hermit Piper, thanks very much for joining us this week.
My pleasure, mate. Good to see you.
Good to
And
see
thank
you.
you for asking.
Not at all. It's my pleasure. First of all, I always ask people about their YTPC name and where it came from. So, were you something before Hermit? I noticed one of your videos many years or a couple of years said you're changing your name, but I didn't know what it was before.
Yeah, my original name was Wharf Valley Boy.
Wharf Valley? Okay.
Yeah, Wharf Valley Boy. Basically, it was related to where I was born. I was born in a town called Otley, not too far from here, and the river that flows through the town is the River Wharfe.
Okay.
So, that's how I chose that name.
Mm-hmm.
But I changed it to Hermit Piper because that seemed to fit me more. It's most of the time that I'm smoking, I'm on my own. I mean, I'm on my own most of the time anyway, so it fits the Hermit title.
Mm-hmm. It's a good name. It's got a ring to it as well.
It has. I mean, it's, not exactly an interesting story behind it, but it sounds good and it fits me well.
Yep, that's what it's all about. So you've been a YTPC member for a good amount of years now then? How many years?
Only a few. I mean, I've been doing videos for 4 years. Actually 4 years this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
22nd of March 2017 was when I first uploaded my first video.
So it's the 26th, isn't it today? So last. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And I've been a lurker since about 2011, possibly a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of the channel videos by DIGHSX, Samoto Yoshi, who was an American living in Japan at the time.
Okay, not familiar with that.
Quite a few. He does. I don't think he does videos anymore, but but yeah, I've been around for a while, but only doing videos for 4 years.
Yeah, a good. Like you've been lurking for nearly a decade then, and
yeah,
yeah, but well, not nearly a decade before you started making videos, but yeah, no, me as well. Yeah, maybe for three or 4 years before I started making, I was a lurker, but I was more, I suppose Chris, what do you call him, Mutton Chop Piper, was my main. Yeah. It is Chris, isn't it? Isn't his name?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
See, I didn't find his channel until after I'd started doing videos.
Right.
Never come across his channel before, and then people started mentioning him.
Yeah.
And that's when I found the channel. Yeah. So
whenever I was first starting out, I couldn't smoke, and I obviously assumed I was doing everything correctly, but obviously I was smoking way too hot and too fast, and I don't know how I got to just whenever you stumble. I suppose I would have been watching other people too, but once you come across our Mutton Chop Piper, just the way he lays it out, if you're a beginner and you don't know anything, it's fantastic.
Yeah, he does have some fantastic videos for beginners to pipe smoking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that he covers that, yeah, really do help.
Did you ever do, I think I saw a couple of videos that are more instructional or anything, but did you ever do any kind of back to basics, step by step, how to load a pipe, the same kind of stuff he would have done?
Not really. I think there's only so many of those videos that you can handle.
Yeah.
There is now, at least now, there's a lot of instructional videos out there.
Yeah.
I've kind of thought about it a few times just to try and reinvigorate my channel, but at the same time, I'd just be repeating what better channels have put out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean there. I feel the same as well. It's been, but I'm sure you as well, with a lot of people, with not a lot, but I get the occasional email saying, I wish you would do that kind of stuff. Or could you show me how to pack a pipe? Or so.
Yeah, I've had emails asking for advice, and I'll always give advice if I'm asked. But anything like that, I've actually given the advice off camera, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the
You know,
same.
so I helped out as much as I can that way.
I forgot to ask you what pipe are you smoking, and what tobacco are you smoking at the minute?
I'm smoking a new Pete's. I don't know if it'll show up in this light. It's a Peterson Spigot 314.
That's right.
It's my newest edition, and I'm smoking some Cabby's mixture in it,
Lovely.
which it's got about 3 years of age.
Nice.
And it's really darkened up. The flavors have deepened, and yeah, it's become a really nice blend.
Laticated, really smoothed out by now.
I don't think there's actually any Latakia in it.
In Cabbies? I thought there was.
I think it's just Virginia Perique.
Oh, really?
I might be wrong.
My mistake then. I thought it was an English blend. Sorry.
As far as I'm, it tastes like a Virginia Perique anyway, and I think that is all it's got in it. But it's one of those blends that definitely benefits with age. If you smoke it fresh, yeah, it's okay, but give it a couple of years in a jar, 2-3 years, and it really does improve.
The pipe. So I think you had that on the Zoom last night. Isn't there a filter in that spigot system?
There is a filter, yeah.
I didn't think Peterson did the silver spigot with a filter. That's cool.
They do a few actually. I mean, it's still classed as a system pipe, but because it's a 9mm being drilled for a 9mm, it basically drills out the system.
Okay.
So it's just a filtered pipe. It has maybe a small well in the shank, but it smoked brilliantly.
Yeah.
Whatever I've smoked in it, I've had about 4 or 5 bowls, and it smoked everything down to a fine ash.
Are you designating any particular blends to it, or
No,
do you do that at all? Or
I really don't. I mean, I've tried to occasionally, but I generally forget what I've dedicated which pipe to.
I'm the same.
There's only 2 pipes that I've got that I've dedicated to blends, and that's a couple of Rattray pipes. One's dedicated to Condor, and the other to St. Bruno. But other than that, I just smoke anything in my pipes.
I'm really enjoying the Condor Flake at the minute. You know, the brown packet. Do you ever give that a blast?
Yeah, I tend to prefer that, to be honest. I think it's got a better flavour. It's a nicer smoke.
Yeah, it is different though, isn't it? What do you say?
So I do like the ready rubbed.
Oh,
yeah. Nothing wrong with that, but I think the long cut is the superior blend of the two.
Do you ever smoke Kendall Deluxe Cream Flake?
It's not one that I've ever had, no.
And it's it's out of.
I know you've mentioned it a couple of times, and it's one that I want to try at some point.
It's out of production now. You can still.
Oh, right.
You should. I mean, there's still GQ Tobacco still have some. So if you want to grab some, or if you want me to send you a couple of flakes, I could do that to see if you like it.
I'll try grab. I'll go and buy some.
Well, I just ordered as much as I could there, basically, as much as I could justify before it's gone, because everywhere else it's gone, even the American sites it's gone. And what else? Gawith got rid of the dark flake as well, aromatic, along with it at the same time, I think. But sorry, the reason why I bring it up, Condor, the brown packet, the Condor flake, there's something about it which reminds me of the deluxe cream flake. So if you like, in my opinion anyway, if you like the Condor, you'll like the cream flake. But
Okay.
order
I'll get
order as
some to
soon
try.
as you can.
Yeah. After this, after we finish chatting, I'll go and get some.
Yeah, good. So do you have any favorite pipe shapes then? I do often see you smoking similar to what you're smoking at the moment, kind of bent apples. You have quite a lot of.
Yeah, bent apples and bent bulldogs are my favorite shapes. I just like the feel of them. I like the way they sit in my mouth. I'm not very much, I'm not a fan of straight pipes, really. They don't sit right for me. I think it's basically because I haven't got any teeth, so I can't clench a straight pipe. But a bent pipe, I can do that, and it's great.
Okay.
But some of my best smokes have been in bent bulldogs.
You've got some stunning ones as well. Stunning. Did you have I remember you have a beautiful Rhodesian-y Bulldoggy Peterson, but you also have a Milverton, don't you? Peterson, is it Milverton it's called?
No, I don't have a Milverton. I've got a Peterson Squire.
Right.
Which is I think that's the one. Yeah. It's basically the ATS shape. It's again a really nice pipe. I've never had a Milverton.
Don't know why I thought you had. No, I thought I saw you smoking one.
No, it's not one that I've had, but I kind of like the shape of it. And I'm with this pipe smoking so well, I might be getting some more Petersons in the future.
Yeah, those Sherlock range, the quality is certainly there. They're just lovely looking. The silver ferrules.
Yeah, they're really nice. Well presented pipes.
Absolutely, yeah. So, gotta ask you then. So, Desert Island Discs question. I'm sure you've heard me if you watch your favorite three. If you had to going from 3 to 2 to 1, if you could.
Do you know that's really hard to answer because
that's why I asked.
Yeah, my taste changed so much. About a year ago, I was smoking predominantly Latakia blends. Now I'm mostly smoking Kentucky. So at the moment, I would say my top 3 blends that I wouldn't want to be without. There's Kendall Kentucky Shag.
One I haven't had.
It's a really nice one. It's got that nice Kentucky flavour. With it being a shag tobacco, it packs well and burns well. It's just a really nice, meaty, fairly strong blend. Definitely have to put some Old Dark Fired in the list.
Oh yeah.
That one again, really good. I sometimes can't decide which I like better, both Kentucky or Old Dark Fired. Again, that's just a variation in taste. Sometimes I think the Bold Kentucky is stronger. Sometimes I think the Old Dark Fired is a bit stronger.
I find them sometimes I find them very similar, and other times I think they're completely different.
Yeah. And for the third blend, I'd probably say Lakeland Dark.
Nice.
Which is 1792 flake without the Tonquin bean casing.
Yeah.
So, which is really nice.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but I also want to try the Cobb plug, which I believe is 1792 plug.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah,
tried it yet.
1792 in plug form, yeah.
Are you not fond of the Tonquin?
I don't mind it on occasion,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's one of those that I've got to be really in the frame of mind and mood for it.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't like it. Certainly not as an everyday smoke.
It's a very strange flavor, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, that kind of vanilla-ish, but not quite vanilla.
Mm.
And yeah. And I find it ghosts pipes a fair bit as well.
Mm.
So I
So,
try to avoid that.
so obviously you're fond of Condor, the likes of Condor and St. Bruno, and you're a fan of Lakeland then, I'd be safe in
Yeah,
saying.
I like some Lakelands. When I first tried Annadale Flake, I really didn't like it.
Same with me. Yep.
But very quickly grew to really enjoy it.
Yep.
Although I don't have any in my cellar. I've got,
Okay.
I haven't got any in at the moment. The only real Lakeland that I've got in my cellar at the moment, and I'm not sure why it's classed as a Lakeland, but that's RB Plug
Mm.
by Sam Gowith. And that has a casing that they call Cheviot.
Yeah, what is that?
No idea what it is.
Yeah.
But that blend to me has a gingerbread-like flavour to it.
Mm.
And it's certainly one of the best room notes that I've ever experienced in a tobacco.
It's one of the only Gawith Lakelandy styles that I haven't tried yet.
You should try it.
It's a vapor, isn't it, with that topping?
It's just Virginia.
Is it just Virginia?
Yeah. I did read somewhere that it's essentially full Virginia flake. It's the same blend as that, but with the added topping on it.
See,
I don't know how accurate that is, but it's one of the tobaccos that when I've been smoking it outdoors, I've had very favourable comments from people passing by, and they've really enjoyed the aromas from it.
Yeah, I will have to try it soon. The other, talking about Cheviot or Cheviot or however it's probably pronounced, there's another one in the long list of flavors attributed to Kendall Flake, I think. There's like eight or nine or even 10 flavors. There's Tonquin. But one of them is Heliotrope. Heliotrope, I think. If I might be getting it wrong, it definitely begins with H and it has a trope in it, I think. But I have no idea. It's just one of those Victorian bygone era things that we don't have anymore.
What that is.
But
I would imagine it's a flower of some sort, but
yeah, probably, yeah. Talking about Lakelands, and then you mentioned Kentucky. Have you tried Revor Plug then?
yeah, I do really like that. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I actually preferred Warrior Plug, which was by Murray's, I believe.
Right.
But that's not made anymore. It was quite similar to Revor Plug, but yeah, I do like that one.
Have you tried Kendall Flake? One we just mentioned.
No, I've not.
I just tried it for the first time last week. I've been trying to just sample all the Lakelands because I'm obsessed with them at the minute. But it tastes like Revor Plug in topping. So maybe that heliotrope stuff is on Revor as well. But it's it's like a Revor but without the Kentucky. So it's worth a try if you like the Revor Plug.
Yeah, that's another one for the list.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Not a problem. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different Lakelands out there. and they all have that individuality and flavour. You know, there seems to be quite a different flavour profile to Lakeland. It's not all the same thing. Certainly in strength-wise, you know, some of the blends are really full-on floral flavours. Others not so much.
Yeah, I like the Bosun plug. It's one of my favorites with the clove oil in it. Really good.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil was saying that he received some grassmere flake, and he reckons there was something wrong with it. It must have been left in the rose water for too long or something. He said it made his eyes water when he opened the pouch, and that he just couldn't smoke it. So
yeah,
I'd love to try
not
it.
a good experience from the sound of it.
I know, but I think he's gonna get it replaced. But if they tell him just to keep it and send them out new grassmere flake, I'm gonna ask him to send me some, because I think I like Lakeland that
Gonna
much
give it
that
a go.
might enjoy it.
You might do, but I think I'd leave it alone.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
If Uncle Phil can't cope with it, it's got to be bad.
It's a pretty brutal stuff. Let me ask then, is there any tobacco in particular that you are cellaring at the moment, or that you're concentrating on, or trying to acquire?
I've recently tried to pare down my cellar because for a while I was buying anything and everything. And I'm now really trying just to focus on a few blends. So the Kentucky Shag that I mentioned, that's definitely in the cellar. I do want to get some more of that, although I've got quite a lot at the minute. Old Dark Fired, Robert McConnell Oriental as well. That one will always be in my cellar and in my open rotation.
Okay.
It's a fantastic Oriental blend. I'm trying to think if there's any others. That's probably it, really. I mean, I've got some of the Gowith Reunion series that I'm just, you know, I bought it literally just to cellar it and leave it and get back to it in a few years. But
yeah, is there what was I going to ask? The Kentucky Shag that you mentioned, then what are the other component parts? Did you say? Is there a bit of Virginia in there as well, or?
yeah, it's I believe it's Dark Fired Virginias and Kentucky. So it's Virginia, Kentucky. As far as I remember, that's all that's in it.
Sorry, I'm making you repeat yourself there, but I just
no. I mean, it's similar to Dark Bird's Eye is another one that I enjoy. It knocks me for six nicotine wise.
Yeah.
You know, it is a really strong one, but again, that's Dark Fired Virginias and Kentucky.
Yeah. Do you? I know you said you don't like the Tonquin too much, but do you like the 1792 flake? Do you smoke it?
I do. Yeah. I do like it. It's just I have to be in the right frame of mind for it. And I think that's why I like the Lakeland Dark so much.
Yeah.
Because that I get the flavour and the strength from the underlying blend without the Tonquin.
Yeah.
So it, you know, it really, on those times that I don't want that extra flavour, it's good to go to the Lakeland Dark. But I do smoke 1792. Yeah.
It's got a good kick to it as well, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But so that's good then. At least you know what to concentrate on cellar wise, and I'm trying to stop. I call it sleeping around. You know, when you're buying too much tobacco that you're never going to get round to, or maybe you will, but I really have to force myself to sometimes even just smoke the same tobacco a few times in a row to get to know it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, a few people have said it lately, but it really does hold true. Cellar deep, not wide.
Yep.
So if you find some blends that you like, cellar those ones and stop looking.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're always searching for that Nirvana smoke. And really, you probably already have it with the blends that you already like, so
True.
stick with those and save yourself some money, or, buy the stuff that you definitely like.
Yeah. Whenever our American YTPC members often talk about, find a bulk blend that you can get or that you like. Find 3 bulk blends that you like, and it doesn't annoy me, obviously, personally, when people say that, but it just makes me think how we've got this shit end of the stick in the UK. Well, obviously not as bad as Canada or Australia at the moment, but all blends are expensive to us. There are no bulk blends, really.
They are. I mean, yeah, we even if we do buy in bulk, we're still paying the same price for the that we'd buy if it was just a tin that we were buying.
Yeah.
Which it is rough. I mean, it's because I would rather buy in bulk, but it's having the money available to do that in the first place.
Yeah, there is that too. Keep getting those pesky emails from PayPal credit, PayPal credit. Yeah, remember you have this, you can use it. It's like, piss off. I don't want
Yeah, I'm not falling into that trap again.
Yeah. Yeah, again, he says, yeah, I'm the same. Yeah. Right. On that note, then, do you have a massive cellar then, or a deep cellar? Are we allowed to know?
It's not as big as it used to be because at the start of 2020, I sold a lot of it to help fund the aquarium.
Okay.
But it's big enough for now.
Keep you going.
I think at the current rate that I smoke, I've probably got 3.5 years worth of tobacco. So it works out about 9 kilos.
Right. So that leads me nicely into the next question. Then, how many bowls a day on average would you enjoy?
On average, maybe 3 or 4. If I'm on Zoom, then I'll smoke more. And some days I just don't bother having a pipe at all.
You can do that? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Only
could,
just.
yeah.
It's on average, it's about 3 or 4 bowls a day.
Yeah, that's a fine number. That's it. In my brain, that's still moderate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. We won't name any names, but there are certain when we're on Zoom, people who have 6 or 7 bowls in a row. I have no idea. Like I think I did 4 a couple of weeks ago, but I wouldn't be able to push it past that.
I wouldn't with what I'm smoking at the moment, definitely.
Not the Kentuckys, no.
Because I am smoking fairly strong blends at the moment, nicotine-wise. So yeah, 10 bowls of that, one after the other, would definitely be too much.
Yep, absolutely. Talking about the aquarium, then, do you have any exotic fish or tropical fish, or what do you keep?
In this tank, the tropical fish, I started out just keeping guppies. And it was just male guppies. I didn't want to breed them because they produce way too much, and I just haven't got the room to keep them. And there's nowhere that I could actually pass the fish on to. Most local fish shops, aquariums, will not take fish from customers because they don't know.
Risk.
It is too risky. I mean, the shop that I use a lot, they did that a few years ago, and they lost about 3/4 of their stocks to disease. So they really won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started with guppies. I've now got some mollies in there as well,
Okay.
which are they're larger fish. They're kind of like the dog of the fish world. You know,
In what way?
they get quite hyperactive. If you go near the tank, they'll be watching you, and if you put your hands in the tank, they'll come and play.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So they are quite cool fish. But within 3 days of buying them, one of them gave birth.
Serious?
Yeah, yeah. So I had like 20 babies in there for a while. There's only 3 that have managed to survive so far.
Right.
Because obviously they will eat the young
Oh
if
man,
they're in the tank.
it's a tough world out there for them.
It is. It is. I mean, I didn't plan on getting a pregnant fish, but
Oh.
it just happened, and yeah, I walked past the tank at one point and thought, "What the hell's that?"
What's going on there?
As I saw something smaller than it should have been, and yeah, the whole tank was full of them.
A surprise. So back to pipes then. Am I allowed to ask you how many pipes you have, or is that a deep dark secret that nobody can know?
I don't know exactly how many I've
Oh
got.
dear, oh dear, oh dear.
It's less than 100. I know that much. I've got 42 in here in this room that are generally just in the rotation, and I'll get to go through them on occasion. But I do have 2 boxes, shoebox size, that have got pipes in both. And I don't know how many's in there, probably about another 30. So maybe 70 pipes altogether.
Which isn't too bad. You've been smoking a good number of years.
Yeah, I mean, compared to some, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's plenty would say, what the hell do you need that many for?
Yeah, true. I was reading one of Rick Newcomb's books, the In Search of Pipe Dreams, it's called. It's it's a good book. It's a good read. You can get it on Amazon for less than $5, I think, if you want on your Kindle. But
Right.
he talks about collectors, and there's just a brand of collector that says around 200, and you know what that actually means is in excess of 500 or 600 or whatever. But so the way you're headed,
I mean, I keep telling myself I don't need another pipe. I don't, I've got plenty. But then, you see people smoking one that you kind of think, oh, that looks nice.
yeah.
And then, if you sometimes when you're looking at a pipe on eBay, you'll get a message from, if you were interested, we'll give you 10 quid off it, or we'll give you 20 quid off it. And then you're kind of tempted. And yeah. I've got one at the moment. It's another Peterson spigot.
Okay.
An XL15, and
Big pipe.
When I looked at it yesterday or this morning, it said, we'll give you this discount if you're the first one to buy it. And I'm like, no, not this week.
Yeah. that happened to me with a Meerschaum, Ali Barinci, a few days ago. It used to be that you would put an offer in and then they'd say, okay, we'll make you a counter offer. But like you say, you just look at it now and they'll send you a message going, okay, here's a price for it, just for you, buddy, just for you.
Yeah. I mean, at least this shop basically does say, it's first come, first served. So they'll only sell one of them at the discount price. And if you want it, get in there quick. So they say anyway.
So they say.
Yeah.
Is there any carvers you have your eye on or you favor?
Not really. I mean, most of my pipes are factory pipes. and I'm a big fan of rat rays. You know, they are excellent quality pipes. The presentation when you buy them is fantastic. I think the presentation is the best of any factory pipe that I've ever seen. You know, it's excellent quality from the box through to the bag to the pipe itself.
What are the wee credit card things that you sometimes get? Have you got one of those? The rat race credit card?
I think it's just an advertisement for them, but if you get one of the little triangular ones,
yeah, the keyring.
Yeah, that's actually a pipe rest.
What? Are we talking about the same thing? It's like a wee plastic triangle.
Yeah, with a hole at the top.
How's that a pipe rest? I've got that on my car keys.
You take the stem off, put the card onto there, so slip through the hole.
On the tenon.
And it will literally, you know, as it hangs down, it will literally hold the pipe in position.
That's ingenious. I didn't know that's what you did. I'm gonna take that off my or maybe I'll just leave it there in case I'm out and about, and then
yeah, it's handy for if you're out and about. It's you know, because it does fit in a pocket, it'll fit in your wallet, so you've always got a pipe rest with you.
Tim, you've brightened up my evening, I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't.
I mean, it is an ingenious thing, you know, that they actually give you a pipe rest, and you know, I don't know of any other. Okay, it's only a piece of plastic, but it works fantastically.
Still, and the black velvety pouches, some of them recently have been coming. They're fantastic looking.
Yeah, they really are. Their production quality, like I say, it really is fantastic.
There's a rat race bent bulldog. It's not a Rhodesian. I suppose it's either. Yeah, I think it might be Rhodesian if it's a bit taller, the bull anyway. It's a rat race pipe. It's got a yellow stain. The grain is coming through as like dark brown. It's on GQ. If you just look through the GQ pipes or the GQ rat race pipes, you'll notice what I'm talking about. But there's flame grain on it, and it's impeccable. It's I don't know what the model is, but it's about 150 quid or somewhere around there. It's like a higher grade.
Are you trying to tempt me again?
No, sorry. This is what I do. Tim.
Yeah. So I've heard, you know.
But I don't mean it like that. People shout at me, but I just can't help it. I love it.
I mean, so many pipes out there that I kind of would love to get, but you know, they're either too expensive or I just can't justify it.
Yeah, this is it. Right, let's see. Let me see. So you're also a fan of, well, I think I've seen you smoke a couple of different types of meerschaum. How many meerschaum pipes do you have? Didn't you get one recently? It was carved skulls.
My most recent one, and I can't remember who I bought it off. It was an Etsy store. And this one is my most recent.
That's cool. Is it an octopus underneath? Yeah, or the legs?
Yeah, it's an octopus with, you know, human skull octopus thing.
It's very intricately carved, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, it's a fantastic pipe, and I like the shape of it. You know, the fact that it's it just sits like that. It smokes really well as well.
Is there a filter in there?
Yep, it's a 9mm. I actually asked them to do a 9mm version for me because the one on the site wasn't. So yeah, they went and carved one for me.
Lovely.
I mean, it's a fantastic smoker. But I've probably got about 5 or 6 meerschaums. One, unfortunately, I broke.
Mm.
The bowl itself is fine.
Is it the tenon?
The tenon the tenon's gone on it, or rather the screw threads in the meerschaum has gone on it, so the stem's loose and not smokable.
Mm.
And that was the basket weave meerschaum that I've got.
Would you not be able to? Is it the damage is not fixable?
It might be fixable. I mean, I could fix it by just gluing it in.
Yeah, but
then you can't clean the pipe properly.
Yeah.
It may well be that, you know, if I sent it off to somebody, they might be able to fix it, but I don't know anybody that works with meerschaum as such.
Yeah.
So I'd have to try and find a meerschaum carver and see if they'd be willing to do any repairs.
Maybe send an email off to is it Michael Blakemore Browers?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Yeah, he can. I've had him. I've been asking him about doing some things to pipes that maybe some other people wouldn't want to do. So he's been open to. So you maybe send him an email and see what he could do.
Yeah, I might ask, because I know that he does do pipe repairs in general, but I don't know whether he'd be able to do one with for a meerschaum.
Yeah, I was asking him to do some. What was it? There's one of the pipes in particular was an old, this late 70s, early 80s Hardcastle, and I wanted it converted to 9mm. But he said most people would just say no in case it breaks. Whereas he was saying, well, if it breaks, it breaks. Are you okay with that? So yeah, I'm willing to gamble sometimes. Yeah, but so that's what makes me think.
Sometimes it's worth the risk.
Yeah,
because if it works, then you've got a nice pipe that you can smoke again.
Exactly.
If it's a case of you can't smoke unfiltered, then yeah, it's worth the risk.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten so used to filters now that I just can't really. There are certain blends, but I don't smoke those blends an awful lot, so that I prefer unfiltered. So are you mostly filtered these days, or have you always, or what way do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I started off when I started smoking again. I started off in filtered pipes, and I've stuck with them. I don't find a problem with a filtered pipe. I get a decent smoke out of them. I do smoke some unfiltered, and again, I've just got to be careful which blends.
Yeah,
there are some that will bite me like nobody's business, but
I've heard the RB plug can be like that.
I don't think I've ever smoked that one unfiltered. Maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
But certainly with a filtered pipe, it's never bitten me.
Have you seen Ali Barinci eBay? He's a German carver. Just whenever.
No.
If you're ever in the market for a mirror again, I mean, that one that I was talking about earlier, they said tenner off then if you fancy it. It was, so it ended up like £60, and it's a medium-sized meerschaum. It's not like a silly thing, and it's proper Turkish block. That's who I got my other, the green stem meerschaum from, and Mark Bremen Piper has used them on a few occasions, so it's good stuff. And maybe
Ali Barinci.
Ali Barinci, Birinci. I'll send you a link after this anyway. But his eBay shop, he has some really decent deals. Like if you're in the market for one.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
Mm-hmm.
You can never have too many meerschaums.
No. They're fantastic pipes. I couldn't get over it. I thought maybe my brain was playing tricks on me the first time I smoked it. I thought this was placebo,
Yeah.
but I purposefully smoked something I was really familiar with, and it is just different. It's just better,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's a much cleaner, drier smoke, and doesn't really. There's no deterioration in flavor. If anything, the flavor intensifies.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So let me see. The other thing I was going to ask about tampers and lighters. Have you any unusual, or do you have preferences on the way you light your pipe, or matches? Some people only like matches.
When I do my charring light, I generally use matches. Um, it just seems to give a better light. But then, if the pipe goes out later on, then as you've seen throughout this video, because I can't keep the bugger lit, I use lighters. I do have Zippo lighters, which I've been using mostly, but then I got some gas lighters that I really like, and I kind of haven't used my Zippos for a while.
Okay, yeah. Do you find that? Do you ever taste? You know the way some people say, "Oh, I don't use a Zippo tastes," but I only find that if it does happen, it's only very, for a second, and then that's it.
Yeah, very, very occasionally I was able to taste it, but usually that was if I'd overfilled the lighter. But using Zippo branded fuel, generally never tasted it.
Yep.
So yeah, nothing to bother me. Basically, I don't have any unusual lighters really.
Any unusual tampers? Or
well, I mean, I've got the Flame of Hope that
Jack
made, and I won that in Sean Panzer's giveaway, and it is absolutely fantastic. I used to use my Eldritch Pipes tamper all the time, which is
it's got skulls in it.
Yeah, it's a resin, and then it's got the little skulls.
That's amazing looking.
Let me see if I can get it to focus. And the answer, no, I can't.
Yeah, technology is great when it works.
It's always the way. When you want to show something, you can't get it to focus, but when you don't, it'll zoom out of focus and everything.
Yep, of course.
Yeah, it's got a pile of skulls in the bottom, and that was my go-to tamper for a long time, until I got that Light of Hope. See, it just went.
There you go. Yeah. Bit of a delay.
And then I've got this near up pipe tamper that comes in a case.
Oh, very nice. Scoop on the end as well.
Yeah, scoop on the end, nice little tamper, and it's got a little cutout here, which is perfect for the thumb. So it just sits really nicely. I thought that. Yeah, I used to have a near up pipe that had the stem was made out of the same material, so it matched the pipe. But I sold the pipe, but I decided to keep the tamper because I do quite like that.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. Look, the only thing I needed to get from you then, talk about briefly, where do you see the future of pipe smoking? And I mean, some people I talk to, it's very doom and gloom. But what do you think from a UK perspective, or what do you think's going on?
I've got to say, I do think it's going to be doom and gloom. The UK government has made no secret of the fact they want a smoke-free generation, basically.
Yep.
And to get that, they're going to increase restrictions on smoking in various places. So at some point, they might say you can't smoke in public anywhere.
Mm.
Although how they'd police that, I don't know.
Mm.
But they increase taxes every year, and you can't get flavored. In terms of cigarettes, you can't get flavored cigarettes anymore.
Nope.
I do wonder if they're going to bring that into pipe tobacco as well. At one point, if they say, well, you can't buy fruit flavored aromatic tobaccos or menthol aromatic, tobaccos. In one sense, that won't affect me because I don't really smoke them. But I could theoretically see them say you can't buy tobacco online.
That's a scary notion.
And yeah, if they ever did do that, then it would decimate the pipe smoking community because we've got so few specialist tobacconists in towns anymore. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I think the government would like to do that.
I agree. Yeah.
The only thing that will do, though, is it will drive people to the black market.
Yep.
And I think we'll always find a way of getting pipe tobacco, even if they do say you can't buy it online anymore.
Yep.
I think that's why the YTPC is so good, because you make connections throughout the world. So, if you can't get something where you live, well, maybe a friend can send you a gift.
Yeah. And do you happen to have any good brick and mortars nearby in your local town?
Not anymore. Leeds used to have a shop called Greens, which actually was bricks and mortar. It was on the main street in Leeds. The daughter of the guy who ran that is the owner of Smoke King website.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, and apparently Paul is working for her now on the online business, because that shut down when he retired. The next closest one is probably Barber's, which is in Harrogate now. It used to be in my hometown of Otley, but they moved out a couple of years ago, or last year, I think, maybe. And they had a 150-year history in that town.
Right, yeah. The one we have, there used to be one in my town, Lisburn, but no longer. There's still one left at Miss Moran's in Belfast, which is a listed building, a very old building. It was one of the first businesses in Belfast, let alone one of the first tobacco businesses. But yeah, I'm hoping that he's not even answering emails at the minute, so I don't know if, obviously with COVID and everything, hopefully they would be receiving money to support. But
hopefully,
yeah, who knows what the government are doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that should have been getting financial support but didn't. So, but hopefully they'll have got some to be able to keep going.
Yeah. And finally, then, just like to ask, have you any advice for people who are interested in pipe smoking, who are looking to start pipe smoking?
Yeah, take it slow. With your first pipe, smoke it slowly. Don't be puffing on it like a freight train, because you will get bitten and it'll put you off forever. So take it slowly, and also take it slowly in terms of diving in and getting loads of different tobaccos.
Yeah.
Start off with one tobacco and one blend and see how you like it. And I'd probably say don't get a corn cob as your first pipe.
That's a good one.
they are affordable, and if you don't know whether you're going to like the hobby, I can see why people would get them for the first pipe, but to me, they're not a beginner pipe. The draw's too wide open on them. And when I was smoking them, I was always smoking them way too quickly.
And you have that lovely taste of wood at the end of the bowl, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, just get a basket pipe, a briar pipe. You can get a decent briar pipe for, 20 quid, sometimes less than that as a basket pipe.
Yep.
And you get a far better smoke out of that than you will from a corn cob as a new pipe smoker.
Yep. And GQ, I think I've plugged GQ about 3 times now. I'm not sponsored, folks, just in case, but they have their own pipes and they're about 20 quid. Or there's the German manufacturer, Vauen. They have a basic range, which are a steel.
Rattray has come out with a line. It's actually
the good deal.
Yeah, the good deal. That's it. And they're not bad for for the price. They're a good pipe. There's no frills, but yeah, there's plenty of cheap briar pipes out there. The GQ briar range are really good pipes for the price.
Tried one, have you? I was thinking of getting one.
Yeah, I do have one. I think it's on the other pipe rack over there. I got a little bulldog from them.
Well, that's some good advice, especially the don't buy a cob. We've nothing against cobs before.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against cobs. I've got quite a few that I do enjoy. But I'm a more experienced pipe smoker. When I was first started and I got a corn cob, I just did not, I couldn't get on with them. That put me back a couple of years.
Yeah.
That was back in 2011. I bought a corn cob. I bought aromatic tobaccos, and they just did nothing for me. And I walked away for another few years. And then started again, but with a briar pipe, and I've not looked back. That's the other thing. I'd probably say avoid aromatics.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they smell great, and they're not very strong nicotine-wise, but they will have the majority of them have a propensity to bite you. Which again, for a beginner, you want to try something that isn't likely to bite you.
Yeah.
So I'd say start with a mild English, something like Squadron Leader, maybe. Maybe not a blend for everybody, but I think it's a better start because a lot of people that will start on aromatics eventually will move on to Englishes or Virginias.
Yep. Yeah.
I think you're better starting with a English because Virginias can have a tendency to bite you if you smoke them too quickly. But that again links in with the, take it slowly.
Yep.
And don't worry if the pipe goes out. Pipes do go out. As anybody, you can see how many times on this video my pipe's gone out. And yeah, not a problem. Go with it. That's what they do.
It's all part of pipe smoking. It's better that it goes out.
Yeah.
I've even read about techniques, people who do, smoke for 10 minutes, then go away and let it go out because it improves the flavor of some blends whenever you let it stew in its own heat for a while. So
it's possible. I mean, I'm one of these pipe smokers that I don't always finish a bowl when I've loaded it. There's some days I'll load a pipe and light it in the morning, and I'll still be smoking the same bowl at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Because I've got busy doing other stuff, and it just goes out. So I put it down for a bit, come back, and yeah. And I don't find any detriment to the flavour. So you know.
Yeah, it's not like a cigar. It won't taste like shite whenever you pick it up again.
Yeah, although even a cigar, you can let it go out, come back to it.
I find it
As long as you knock all the ash off
all
and
right.
give it a burn and then purge it after you've lit it. So
That's the
you know,
purging.
yeah, you know, just blow through the cigar, it'll purge it, and it'll smoke okay. I mean, obviously, that's if it's, you know, I might not smoke a cigar a day after it's gone out, but
Yeah.
you know, a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours or more, not a problem.
Yep. Great advice. Well, listen, that's it. Tim, Hermit Piper, once again, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
No, thank you for having me.
I hope to speak to you again soon. Thank you.
No problem.